was an idea.
Welcome to Pulp Kitchen, to our first episode. Thanks for joining us.
The idea was to bring together a group of remarkable people. See if they could become something more.
One of Rachel's boyfriends that isn't Ross. Tag! Oh, wow!
That's funny.
Congratulations on 200 episodes.
Congratulations on your 200th episode.
Congratulations to Pulp Kitchen on its 200th edition.
Have you got Danny Boyle's contact details? Can you get me in a Danny Boyle? Happy 200 episodes, Pulp Kitchen. Congratulations. Here's to another 40.
Congratulations on your 200 episodes.
Congratulations on 200 episodes.
Congratulations on your 200th episode.
Congratulations on 200 episodes.
Pulp Kitchen, you've got to 200 episodes. Well bloody done.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Pulp Kitchen!
Good evening. Good evening. Wow.
I love a montage. God, that was good.
Even Rocky had a montage.
Even the films I wasn't in, I was like, God, I really felt the explosion.
I think people need to understand how strange this is for us, because James and I usually record this, the two of us, in his bedroom, and we're not used to having 200 people in the same space. So.
And now we're doing it live. I can see the disappointment in your eyes in real time. So it's so great for you to be here. Thank you so much for coming. Really, we do mean it.
You're part of an episode right now. This episode is being filmed.
Hello to everyone at home. We're recording this live. This is our 200th episode. To make it more cinematic, we're going to do it live in one take with no budget. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for being a part of it. But 200 episodes.
I know. I was enjoying looking at the many haircuts and knitwear of Pulp Kitchen over the years.
Ever exploring our sense of identity crisis. I mean, that's 4 years, 200 numbered episodes, but, we do other episodes in between, but it's 200 weeks of us doing this, which is really, really crazy and strange. And I think it's one of those things where everyone can say, yeah, it's like hard work to do one, but I'm like, anyone can make one. But I'm gonna ask you, like, can you do 50? And I actually think the hardest part is just turning up once a week.
Yes.
Like organizing someone else's schedule just to be there. And so I'm always like, we got in the room 200 times, and that's good enough.
I do think every time we open the door to each other, there is a flicker of you again. Okay.
Yes.
They're doing this good. But we talked about film last week.
And once a week became twice a week, and sometimes 3 times a week.
And don't forget the double take.
Yes, but I mean this in the nicest way. This whole thing has completely taken over our lives. Like, in the best way. It started as a side project, something that we did coming out of COVID, and we're going to sort of get on to like the last 4 years, especially in terms of cinema. But it was kind of a crisis thing coming out of COVID, of like being this really interesting time where everything changed and everyone had a very different situation where maybe you weren't in control of whether or not you had work. And I remember sort of voice noting George being like, I think the only thing I think I could talk about once a week forever is films. And I'll get onto this later, but we actually tried to start a version of this podcast years and years ago. But George has always been, to me, that guy from uni that just talked a lot about films. Yeah. And that's how we ended up sort of chatting. And
I don't even know James's surname.
No.
Just film.
There's that one guy who does loads of film stuff. And fittingly, like, just being backstage with George right now is a really natural place for us because we met doing loads of theatre at uni and we even did plays at Edinburgh. And so actually, like, being here is not a strange place. You guys are strange for being here. But actually being here with you just like feels like very normal.
It is coming home.
And it was one of the things we thought we could do where it was like, what is something that is a passion of both of ours that we think we could talk about forever? And I think I really remember saying, let's do this for at least 2 years. And if no one listens after 2 years, we can stop. But let's not worry about the numbers.
Yes. But thankfully, that wasn't the case.
It wasn't the case.
We've done a presidential term now, by the way. That's how I measure it. 4 years. 4 more years. That's what I say at Pulp Kitchen.
I used to say it's not about the numbers, but now I've hit 200. I'm like, it's actually definitely about numbers. Numbers are huge. If you don't have numbers, don't even talk to me.
Also, if you film yourself every week, you learn about the process of aging in a completely different way. I feel like I've stared through the space-time continuum there.
I used to hate it, and now I've just accepted that I do weird things with my face and mouth and hands, and I'm just very much at peace with it.
But yeah, it's been when we started this 4 years ago. Like, it was just such a different place and time. Like, when we started the podcast, October 2021, James and I hadn't been to the cinema in a year, which is like such a mad thing to say, considering we go like 4 times a week now. And everyone didn't know how they felt about cinemas and films anymore. And that's why we kind of, as we'll get on to, this episode's going to be about the best movies of the decade so far. But first of all, just some housekeeping. This is going to be a 2-halved episode. We're going to do a bit of a half here, then we'll have a little 15-minute interval. And then in the second half, we'll change things up a bit. And we'll do some hot takes and some games. And we should also mention, James, that hot off of the fashion press, we have our first ever batch of Pulp Kitchen merch. Look at that. Look at that. Get yourself a spicy one of those. If you haven't one already.
Many long meetings, move the logo left, move the logo right. This is a one-off Pulp Kitchen 200 edition. It's a one-off because we'd still be making the merch if we had to do the rest of the line. But by all means, go and check that out if you want to grab yourselves a piece of merch. But just quickly, before we do, I wanted to give people a little listen. So I said that we actually tried to start a version of a film podcast a long, long time ago. And I think it's only fitting that this is actually what we're doing now, because I always felt like this was something we would do. And before we were doing this with people listening or even in front of a crowd, we genuinely used to talk like this every day. If you listen to the show, that is exactly how we would talk. We do a little bit more hosting now, but we would do impressions, we would talk about how much we loved a film or how much we hated a film, and we would talk about news. But a really, really long time ago, we tried to do a version of this podcast in 2017, I think it was. And we actually just got a clip of some of the unreleased episodes of our old podcast.
Yeah. Audio only.
Audio only. It was called Cling Film. Oh, that's our laptop gone. Oh.
Have you and I sort of like interstellar?
I don't know. That wasn't intentional when it happened before.
Scrubbed it from the record.
I'm hoping it just pops back in if it doesn't.
Because I can nip and have a word with the old laptop if you need me to.
It's your laptop.
It's my laptop.
Oh, we're back. So I wanted to show you or let you listen to the old podcast that we never released from May 2017. This is me and George at Brighton Pride.
2016?
Roughly about the time. That was a fun day. I got very sunburned.
It was the love of film that brought us together.
And this is a clip from our old unreleased Cling Film podcast. So I went to go see Guardians Volume 2 this week. And afterwards I had this really long thing about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Thanos specifically, and how they use all of the post-credit scenes to establish him as this awful, menacing villain, this epic finale of the Avengers. And I realised that the only thing we've actually seen Thanos do is smile at the camera and put gloves on. That's it. Which, as far as like acts of villainy go, it's quite tame. You know, I'm half expecting the next post-credit scene. And we'll never release them.
No.
But it's funny because it's actually very similar to what we do now. And it's always kind of remained true to the whole thing of what we want to do, which is just talk about films.
I'm very sorry that the first bit of audio that we had recorded with each other was me going, oh, God, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. There's this thing. But yeah, should we move on to the meat and potatoes of what we're doing today? So Today, we are going to answer what are the best films of the 2020s so far. The reason we're doing that so far is we're kind of coming up to half a decade. It's also roughly the same amount of time that George and I have been doing the show and how long we've been covering films. And so on our social media, we did this huge poll and we asked everyone to vote for what were their 3 favorite films of the decade so far. Just a show of hands, did anyone actually get to vote in that poll who's here today? Yes,
Excellent.
Lots of hands. Amazing, so you all saw it. Everyone got 3 votes. Every vote was worth the same. And when I tell you, me and George painstakingly counted every single one on a spreadsheet, and it was close as well.
We don't do spreadsheets often, okay?
No.
We're media people. But
we don't do
did it
maths,
for
don't do
this.
spreadsheets, yeah. But it was very close, wasn't it?
It was incredibly close tally, and the higher up in the rankings we get, the closer it gets. It's really interesting. And like what I touched on earlier, you know, the past 5 years, it wasn't just COVID started.
Yeah.
It's like then films kind of came back, and you had like peaking with like Oppenheimer. What a great experience! 4 months of writers' strike, actors' strikes, which had a massive knock-on effect. Even like the Hollywood fires earlier this year had a knock-on effect. But regardless, in that time, there have been some gems.
Yeah, it's a decade that I think we'll look back on and we'll go, it has a lot of like asterisks next to it. Like whether it's, the delays, strikes, like where everything's gone creatively. I still think after COVID, when you had not just the proliferation of streaming services before that, but they really like doubled down and they really had to compete for your entertainment at home. And now everyone's come out of COVID. How do you re-get them back to come back into the cinema? I think that's the sort of thing that everyone's still trying to figure out. And I think you'll see in the list that we reflected like where cinema's going in terms of that.
And you're still having an era of cinema where records are being broken, but there are also massive flops, and then you'll have like mass attendance will turn up for one film, and then other films will just flop completely, and streaming platforms are doing very well, but then also in debt.
Yeah, we had basically the rise of Disney Plus. Did that launch in
I think
March?
late 2019.
Late 2019.
And they sort of just got it in just in time.
But they would have been happy to do it because it was like, oh, now everyone's at home, therefore must buy Disney Plus. I remember Netflix figures like soaring during COVID. It was huge. But without further ado, so we're going to reveal in a countdown the top 5 that won. So we should just go for it. Are you ready for number 5? First of all, anyone just want to shout out a film they think is in the top 5? Nice, a lovely little jingle of mush of films there.
Yes.
Great. That was less productive than I thought it would be, but just good to know. I'm always surveying. We'll add them to the vote. Number 5 is Aftersun. Yeah. So, did anyone vote for Aftersun out of interest?
Nada.
No,
okay.
Nothing.
One person over there.
Yeah, fuck Aftersun, yeah. Aftersun. Hands up who's seen it, by the way. Who saw Aftersun? Great, a good number of you. So this was directed by Charlotte Wells, a debut feature film. This released in October of 2022. It stars Paul Mescal and had a debut performance from Frankie Corrigo. And this was a semi-autobiographical coming-of-age drama that was loosely based on Wells' childhood, so it's deeply personal. And it follows an 11-year-old Scottish girl on holiday with her father at a Turkish resort on the eve of his 31st birthday. And I'm actually really pleasantly surprised to see this film on this list. And it's not because I don't think it's very good. It's more that I don't always think films like this tend to brush shoulders with some of the other films you'll see on this list, mainly because I wouldn't necessarily consider Aftersun to be a huge mainstream film that gets lots of votes on a film Instagram, social media. But I think for anyone who's seen it, it's a wonderful example of a film that really articulates emotion without words. And it's like a sort of very personal feeling, like it was drawn from memory. And I remember watching the film for sure, but it's a film that's very sensory and tactile. As much as I watched it, I also felt like I heard it and I touched it. And I think that feeling that's really well captured is a testament to why it's on this list, because I think that's why it resonated with people. It never told you exactly how to feel. I think you left with a feeling with Aftersun, and I think that's really powerful and is why it's here.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's amazing that a film that's is basically just the two of them. I mean, other characters kind of float in and out. It's 90 minutes. For a film as small and as quiet as it is, it's great that it's this high up, because it really, what was clear in the data is that it's just really struck a chord with people. And anyone who's seen it will know that, like, the dance sequence towards the end, not a spoiler, just checking, where they use the isolated vocals of Freddie Mercury and David Bowie's Under Pressure, is like just such a haunting and brilliant and beautiful scene. And I think everyone just came out with sort of this feeling in their chest after seeing Aftersun. I'm so glad it broke through.
And also, especially for a debut film, like usually in the film industry, the first thing that anyone ever sees of your film is a script, which I think leans a lot of films towards like really nailing dialogue and having scenes with talking that really works. And I think when you're trying to make a film that like really doesn't need that, you have to have so much faith and so much trust and someone who's really great at communicating an idea and trying to get it funded. Like if you can't have someone, if you're just writing like directions for a frame, I just think that's so much harder to make that happen and to get budget, and it's not an expensive film. No. But that's why I'm also like hell yeah, like Aftersun in our vote, which had I think close to over 1,000 votes, made the top 5. I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, and a good like clean above number 6 as well.
Yes, yeah.
And look, we know Paul Mescal's a fantastic actor, and we have seen him be sad and cry in quite a few things.
This
but
is true.
He is bloody good at being sad, and he's bloody good at crying in this.
Yeah. This is one of his best saddy cry ones.
Yeah, fair enough.
And even in this even Gladiator, he did lots of sad crying, but just sort of the bigger budget, basically. Someone died, and he was really sad about it.
So if you haven't seen it, by the way, if you haven't seen Aftersun, obviously go and watch it. It's quite an easy recommendation in that respect. It's 90 minutes and clearly very popular.
Moving on to the next one.
Move on to the next one.
All right, any guesses for number 4? Go on. Oh, yep, interesting. Yep, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, like it, that's fun. It's still not that useful, I'll take it. It's Top Gun Maverick!
It's Top Gun Maverick! Clearly the people's choice. This is like, not only just like so glad to see it's popular, but it was really quite an important moment in the past 5 years. It really was the moment when everyone said, cinema is back. Movies are back. And from our point of view, it was the first ever real world event that we got invited to the premiere, so it felt really special. And yeah, I'm not saying that Tom Cruise single-handedly saved the film industry, but I do have that great feeling of catching up with friends in the days afterwards, and everyone had seen it, and everyone was buzzing about it. And it's really bloody good.
So good.
The jets go fast, and Tom looks great.
And they have to go faster to get it to do it. So I really remember this film being announced, and I really couldn't give a shit. I was like, nobody cares about Top Gun. It's a really weird film that we rewatched because like we wanted to know what was going to happen to Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun 1 sucks. Okay?
It's so weird. It's not really a film. It's kind of like a weird sexual ad for America. Like it's just really weird. And so it isn't really about anything either. So like you watching it, like I really could have just skipped this. And I really just didn't care. And then I saw it, and it was fucking awesome. And I was like, this is such a great fist bump of a movie. And they just really understood how to get an audience to care about your film, especially a legacy sequel to a film that you probably didn't rewatch or you probably haven't seen. And Top Gun Maverick, for me, is an amazing recent example of how important it is to establish stakes in an action film. What do they have to do? How hard is it? How fast do they have to go? What happens if they don't do it? How much time have they got to do it in? It's the whole film. It's just telling you like how hard it's going to be. And it's brilliant. And I think I close my eyes. Like I know exactly like what kind of thing they have to do over the mountain. And I think that's such an important thing to do for your action film. Look, is the whole of Top Gun Maverick the trench run from Star Wars: A New Hope? Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. Did they point at one of the most successful films of all time? And like, but what if it was a movie?
There's no football scene on the beach in Star Wars.
There isn't,
okay?
though,
That's
no.
important.
And even the Han Solo moment where you think he's going to run with the money, but then he comes back to help them. Glenn Powell in this has exactly the same character arc as the Hangman, so it is very similar. But this film just got a lot of that right. Like I think everything they did with Val Kilmer and Iceman was just brilliant. In particular, there's a scene when there's a montage of them, all the guys in the group, just failing to pull it off, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And it's the emotional stuff with Miles Teller, and it bubbles up in this argument. And it's just boiling tension. I'm like, God, this is just great. I don't know if they're going to make it. Yeah. I just think it's really great. It's so good.
Yeah. And I think also just hats off to Joseph Kosinski for now just cementing himself as like one of the top blockbuster filmmakers in Hollywood. Yeah. Joseph Kosinski, by the way, holds the record for making the most expensive debut film of all time, which was Tron Legacy in 2010, which they gave him like $175 million. Like, okay, but then he came with this, and this was fantastic. And I made the joke about the jets go fast, but they do look fantastic. Yeah. And then he's just on F1 where the car goes fast, and he's going to make a Miami Vice movie where the boats go fast. I'm so locked in on the vehicular career of Joseph Kosinski.
Complete them all.
Watch this space.
Scooters go fast. Skateboards go fast.
Tricycles, everything. Yeah. It's I do love Top Gun Maverick, and I still think even if there are some people who maybe haven't seen it, I'm just like, don't sniff at it because it is really good. It is one of the best legacy sequels ever. Yeah. Tom is the right balance of vain and also put through the ringer.
Yeah.
You want him to be a movie star, but you don't want him to be invincible.
Yes. Yeah.
He doesn't run in this.
And also, like, I love the fact that he taught everyone. No, he doesn't run.
I've just said.
He bicycles fast.
He does,
in the
yeah,
opening.
yeah.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. It's actually a non-running Tom Cruise film. This is the first time you said
You
that.
know what? Let's mark it down.
Yeah,
Put it down.
Yeah, I love that he basically gave everyone who was in the cockpits in this film, like, I think it was a 4-hour presentation on how to make films, because they were all basically using the cameras in the cockpits to make the film, which is just so over the top Tom Cruise energy. But I'm kind of, you're not going to not accept Tom Cruise's personalized 4-hour how to make a film seminar. Like, you go to that and you shut up and you listen. Like, that'd be amazing. Does anyone vote for Top Gun Maverick just out of interest? Yeah, a few handful of votes here.
Too right.
Okay, cool.
Too right.
Right, so this leads us to number 3.
And also, so James and I have also selected our own top 3.
Yes.
And this next one is one that is both in our personal top 3.
Yes, it is. And this is Past Lives.
That's a lot of Past Lives being shouted out here.
Big cheer for Past Lives.
What a movie.
Yeah, I mean, another debut feature for Celine Song, who directed this.
Who gave us congratulations.
Who gave us a congratulations.
Friend
We
of
got
the
the chance
show,
to speak
Celine.
to her. Released in June 2023. A friend of the show,
Friend of the
absolutely.
show.
And she remembers us vividly.
She won't stop talking about
And
us.
all the time, me and George, we go, do you remember when we spoke to Insert Talent? Do you think they'd remember us if we walked to them? It's always, no. It's ever with Mikey Madison. We spoke to Mikey Madison. It's like, do you think she remembers us?
I said,
No.
she's won an Oscar in the time that she saw us. Like, I think she remembers like waiters who gave her a coffee more than she remembers us.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But Past Lives, directed by Celine Song, released in June 2003. It's about 2 characters, Nora and Hae Sung, who are childhood friends in South Korea. And they're separated after Nora's family move her to the United States. But years later, they reconnect online, and he visits her in New York, and the whole film takes place over, I think, a day or 2. And they have this deep, unspoken connection. And it forces them to sort of start thinking really deeply about what could have been their own relationships. And this whole, I think, a really interesting conversation just about an immigrant's identity, what you do when you basically move away from somewhere. You're both trying to retain and lose your identity at the same time. And the film really wonderfully articulates that struggle. I think it's so impressive that this was her debut feature film, really.
Yeah, and with like Aftersun being debut as well, which
Absolutely,
is
yeah.
debuts in the top 5. Like, I think it's amazing. There was a wonderful experience of watching Past Lives, which is you really feel like you're watching a classic film already being made in front of your eyes. You think this is it's already cemented itself as an all-timer, and it's so haunting and beautiful. And I really do think that, in many ways, yes, you can read the sort of love angle and the romance and the nostalgia and everything, but it's like a ghost story in a way, because it's about this cultural dislocation that Nora has, and it's almost like Hae Sung he's not really relevant as a person. It's like it's just the past haunting Nora and just having to reconcile with it, and it's brilliant. And I know a lot of people who it really, really connected to them. Some the lines from the movie really stay with me still, like this, when John Magaro says, you dream in a language I can't understand. You dream in Korean, but you speak English to me. It's beautiful and opens, but also I'd say one of the best film openings.
Oh, there we are, in and out.
Sorry. Celine's just trying to buzz in.
Yeah. That would be really good if that happened. knock. Hey, guys. I do remember you, motherfucker.
What were we saying? Celine, the opening, one of the best openings of the 3 of them in the bar, and sort of Greta Lee looking down the barrel of the camera. It's just gorgeous.
And the way the cinematography is used in that scene, it starts with a wide and it's the 3 of them in the frame, but the longer the scene goes on, the less relevant the boyfriend, the spare part is, the less relevant the entire scene is. And you realize, like, when you have a conversation with someone and you're that infatuated and interested in them, the whole of the rest of it just disappears. Even this shot, when they did it, it was like there's all this chaos and noise, and it's New York City and it's the fairground, but they're just basically like locked in, and there's so many examples of that in the movie. It is so like profoundly, deeply romantic, and this idea of in-yeon that maybe you didn't make it in this life, but it might be that in a past life or in a future life you might find each other later. That's such a wonderful idea, and it offers this this sort of like nostalgic sadness, but also a sense of hope that maybe in some other reincarnation you would find someone. And I think I saw this like a couple of weeks before you did, and I kind of saw it in a vacuum, and I had this amazing sense of urgency of like, oh my God, I've just seen this film. And if you listen to my review, I was like so effusive about how much that last scene, if you've seen it, just really stuck with me, because it was about the silence and eye contact. And I had this exact same, which is what's great about film, the exact same emotion as the people on screen, of this just like, I wanted to explode with emotion watching these 2 people just not being able to say anything, but not saying anything was enough. Yeah. And it's one of my favorite endings to a film recently. It's brilliant.
absolutely pitch perfect, down to the absolute final line. It's just absolutely perfect. I'd say like that, and only maybe, I think Anora has an amazing ending as well, but I think like when I look back, Past Lives, when you're watching a great film, the whole time in the back of your head you're thinking, please land this plane and just make sure you don't fall apart in the third act. She lands it, she disembarks, she's great.
Yeah. And
to extend the plane metaphor.
And a wonderful comparison to your favourite films, which are the Before films. It belongs right next to them on the shelf as like two people sad talking to each other about love.
Yeah. I would talk about those tonight, but we'd be here forever.
Yeah. So that is Past Lives. Moving on to number 2.
Now, we should say about numbers 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was a squeaker.
It was really close. It was 3 votes?
I think
2 or 3 votes?
Might be down to 2 votes, actually, between them.
So I was saying, like, every vote counted. In the, I want to say, 5 hours we spent counting.
It's a long time.
5 hours. We did it in 2 different sessions. Like, every 20 to 30 minutes, one would be the winner and one would be second place. And we knew it would be essentially these two to win or come second. But it was like, now this one is one. Now this one is one.
Also, how many films made the poll in total?
181.
181 films.
181 nominations. We let any film be nominated, because who are we to tell you if, you wanted to put insert bad film. Maybe it would win. Yeah. Maybe we're really out of touch. But so this was number 2, only just by about 2 or 3 votes. And that is Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Predicted. Yeah, that's my mum.
Yeah. Well,
Did you see the presentation the other day?
You've got a clairvoyant in the front row. Yeah, Oppenheimer. I argue that, it's not even an argument, it's a point, that Oppenheimer is not only just one of the most successful films of the past 5 years, may make the case of being one of the most successful films of all time. And what I mean by that is, critically acclaimed, swept the boards at the Oscars, won 7 Oscars, and it was one of those weird things, most Oscar races each year, there are several different films that could win. That year, Oppenheimer was the clear winner. You could read it across all the trades. They would just say that Oppenheimer's won it already. And also, it made nearly $1 billion. Yeah. So you can't really argue with that. I'd say Chris Nolan, big success. Well done, my friend.
Big success.
Good movie.
Yeah, and it's like, I love that it's not just a biopic of, Robert Oppenheimer's life and making the bomb. It's also just this amazing love letter to science, a brilliant political drama about politics in the United States in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and onwards. This horrible technology and this weapon is made. And once that is done and it's used and everyone sees the power of it, it's all about the fallout of what the world does now that this is done. And I love the fact that when they're trying to make it, all politics goes aside. Communists, we'll talk about it later. And they just sort of get rid of that. But once the bomb is made, it's like, well, actually, let's start having a look at why that was. And it's so, so good. And just on Christopher Nolan, I would argue that at the time he released this film, I don't think any other filmmaker, and I think this is still true, has higher expectations for their next film than Christopher Nolan. Right now, he is arguably, in terms of directors working today, one of the most esteemed and exciting film directors. He only tells the biggest stories with the biggest ideas, and he uses the largest canvas to tell that story. And you've really got to sort of look at the proliferation of IMAX filmmaking recently, and we sort of owe a debt to him for the success of it. And he's shown that it's not just about, exteriors and explosions. It's about faces and emotions and ideas and wonder. And nobody wants to convince you to go to the cinema more than Christopher Nolan. And he shoots in large format because he's like, I want to actually show you something that you really can't get at home on your TV. I don't care how big it is. I'm going to show you more of the frame and it's kind of thing where like, oh yeah, I saw Oppenheimer at home. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't really see it. And it's kind of this whole nod to where filmmaking is going. It's like you want to see it on the biggest screen. And it's just brilliant.
I also think it is maybe one of, I've said the reasons why it's one of Nolan's most successful films. I think it could be his best.
Yeah,
I think that although, there are the Nolan cliches in there of the over dissecting the narrative into fission and fusion and all that.
Yeah, time layering between each other.
Like, sure, Chris, whatever works for you.
It's not a perfect film.
No.
Do you remember we did an episode recently on, we named what are 10 definite perfect films, and it's like, we had this conversation, it's like, Oppenheimer isn't.
No.
Like, the stuff with, I think, basically any of the women, to be honest with you, I think kind of really lets it down. But I would still think it's, especially this decade, one of the most impressive feats of cinematic storytelling. And I'm quite sure if we were to do this conversation again at the end of the decade, I still think Oppenheimer would be near the top of the list.
And I know I just mentioned his cliches. I do think that actually, I love the first third in particular of Oppenheimer. The first hour is actually got some of, I think, Christopher Nolan's most abstract filmmaking in there. He really depicts this period, this interwar period where the world was just changing across every single dynamic, across art, across science, across culture. And the shots of him going crazy at Oxford and almost poisoning his teacher with the apple.
Yeah, that was a weird scene.
But like, it all works and it's quite hypnotic. And I think there's something really beguiling about Oppenheimer and really intriguing. And I do think in other hands, a really stuffy, stately volume, 3-hour film about the guy who oversaw the Manhattan Project could be really dull.
Yeah, also great explanation of stakes. To go back to my steak thing, like it's not a war movie, but it's set during the war. The wars never really, they don't cut to the war. It's always happening in the background, but and they do mention like we must figure out this technology before the Germans do, because if it gets in their hands, it'll be even worse. And I just think, it's really good. And just like the cast in it are brilliant.
Robert Downey Jr. quite rightly so, winning the Oscar for it. But I mean, I know he's jumped back into Marvel now, but like he really turned up and was like, I've done my homework, I'm done with Marvel, please, Chris, I'm going to lock in. Just fantastic.
People like Jason Clarke are brilliant in it, and just like
it's a great cast as Countdown.
Yeah, like a great cast, and like Gary Oldman is in it as Truman for one scene, and he's brilliant. Just Nolan's got like the best actors in the world on speed dial, and he's doing it again for the Odyssey clearly, because he just gets everyone in.
And he does that really smart thing because he's one of the biggest directors in the world. He's like, okay, this character is not going to turn up again for another 2.5 hours, but I need you to remember him, so I'm going to cast Rami Malek. Yeah. So you remember who he is. He's not going to have any lines, but you'll go, Rami Malek. Yeah, and then 2.5 hours later.
2 hours later, one nuclear bomb. You're like, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
He's really weird.
Yes, you were the thing.
A lot of like frowning and gurning at the screen as Rami Malek does. But
an amazing. I mean, terrific.
Anyone here vote for Oppenheimer as well? Is that of interest? Yeah, a handful of you there. Fair. Which leads us to number one.
So, any guesses on number one now? With there's only 2 points ahead. Everything, Everywhere. Batman, Parasite. Oh, by the way, just a little thing. Love Parasite. Great movie. Came out in 2019.
Yeah, a lot of people voted for Parasite.
UK released 2020. I'm sorry.
2019 movie. Yeah.
Right. Are we ready?
Number one is, say it with me, Dune Part Two.
You made this point, which I think is a really good point, which is that although it's only won by 2 votes, if Dune had come out in 2019, I think this wouldn't have split the votes so much.
Dune got about 1/3 of the votes this did. Not to take away from Dune 1, but I think because it's the end and the second half of the story, I think it became like the vote for all of Dune. So actually, I think if Dune had come out 2019, this would have got all of those votes, and I think would have won by more, but it's more fun to say it was 2 votes away.
I absolutely love this film. I think it's one of the best cinema experiences I've ever had. We saw it on a massive IMAX screen, and genuinely, that's again...
And it's better than
Denis,
that.
you coming? No. And genuinely, I was like speechless when I came out of it. I never really had that. I was just so in awe of this.
I was like, George, we have to go.
And I was like, there's sand everywhere. It was so bombastic and mega, and just I'm so in awe of it. I haven't put it in my personal top 3 choices just purely because it's spoken for. Well done, you made it. It's fantastic, but absolutely monumental filmmaking with just Denis Villeneuve cooking at the highest level with the best talent, with the best cinematography, with the best music, and making this new iconography and visual language for a science fiction epic.
I think it's been really great to see Denis Villeneuve with every single release. I think he's just raised the bar more and more with every single film, and I think nothing feels like that more than what he's done with Dune 2, and I think he very proudly sits next to people like Christopher Nolan on this list and I also Joseph Kosinski. Actually, you look at the 3 of them, they really represent what I think is happening to this modern era of cinema, where it's like, I want to show you something you can't get at home. I'm going to shoot it on large format. I'm going to make the action so great that if you didn't see it in the cinema, you didn't really see it. We talked about COVID, and right now you have no reason to go to the cinema. At home, or whether it's on your TV, your laptop, or on your phone while you're taking a shit, you have access to every film, every TV show ever made. And if you don't catch it in cinema, it's going to be on your phone anyway in 3 months. So all of these films, like especially Top Gun, F1, Oppenheimer, they're all trying to get you to go to the cinema to show you something you can't get at home. And it's very easy to look at cinema and go, oh, it's all just comic book movies and reboots and remakes and stuff that's made for 14-year-old boys, and that's absolutely true. But I would also point at these and be like, but look at what's been great about cinema and what's been able to have been enjoyed primarily on the big screen. And I think Dune is like a wonderful, wonderful example of that. Yeah. I think Denis Villeneuve's also becoming one of the most reliable custodians of an IP. Like, he's done it with Dune. He did such a good job with Blade Runner 2049. And next he's going on to do James Bond, which I think is going to be his biggest challenge to date. But I'm like, yeah, Denis Villeneuve, in any doubt, hand it over to this guy, and he's going to do a bloody good job. Yeah. And I agree with everything you said about Dune. It's brilliant, and its epicness and its scale was never at the cost of how artistically brilliant it was. It was not because we can't have, someone might say, oh, you can't have such big movies with explosions and make it interesting and thought-provoking. And I'm like, you can. Like, go watch Dune 1 and 2.
I also think it's just one of those films that you wouldn't want to do this, but you could watch it on mute because the visual storytelling in each frame is so precise. That combination of Denis Villeneuve with cinematographer Greg Fraser, it's wonderful. It's like, you know, when you're on a plane sometimes and you end up watching the person over there's film and you know, you can't hear anything, but you sort of get what's happening because the visual storytelling is quite good. That's the only way I can sort of describe it, but that is what is so brilliant about Dune.
I haven't seen any Godzilla Kong movies, but I've technically watched them all like diagonally across the plane, and I get it. I get the vibe.
Well, that guy's watching. So that was the top 5, and it was a close call. But we had so many votes, as we said. We thought it'd be a bit remiss if we didn't go on to talk about what was numbers 6 to 10. So first of all, just to recap on what numbers 1 to 5.
These were the top 5. So at number 5, Aftersun. Number 4, Top Gun Maverick. Number 3, Past Lives. Number 2, Oppenheimer. And number 1, Dune Part 2.
Now let's see what came in at numbers 6 to 10. And I was saying this bracket, number 6 to 10, although it was a gap between 5 to 6, these were all within like 1 vote of each other.
Yeah, like 1 to 2 votes with each one. So again, we didn't know halfway through like what was winning. It was always changing. And the 6 to 10 were... So at number 6, Everything Everywhere All at Once, which a lot of people set out, not quite made the top. Joint 7th, Sinners and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. At number 9, The Holdovers. And number 10, One Battle After Another.
Yeah. So this is really interesting. I thought a recency bias for recent films would actually hold it down. I thought people would go, no, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to think of films that I've seen once or twice that have sat in my memory. But Sinners came out earlier this year, and One Battle After Another has barely been out 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's fought its way into there. So good for it, and a good movie. And by comparison, a much smaller movie, The Holdovers. I love that movie. I cherish it. I think it feels like a classic movie from a different time, and I'm happy that as we were counting the votes, it was just slowly, steadily making its way up there.
When we do our Film Bites interviews with people, a question we ask a lot is, what's a great recent film not enough people saw? And I think 90% of the people who answered that question all said The Holdovers. And it was really a shame because like we kept having to like cut it because we'd done that so many times. It was like, we're not just going to champion The Holdovers. But like a lot of people I think feel like, yeah, I want to champion The Holdovers. It's the type of film that doesn't really get made anymore. It feels like a film that was made out of time, and I think that's really intentional. Everything Everywhere All at Once, like really happy to see it there. I don't think it's our favourite film.
I think it's a little overrated.
I prefer. Yeah.
That's a hot take from me.
Yeah, I prefer the Daniels who directed it. Their other farting corpse film with Daniel Radcliffe. I don't know if you've seen it, called Swiss Army Man. That's even weirder, and I actually prefer that one. But yeah, I'm like, I see why that's there. I think a lot of people walked into the cinema not knowing what they were going to expect, got Everything Everywhere All at Once, and were like, literally, and they were like, oh my God, what an injection of fun, crazy energy that's hilarious and thought-provoking and heartfelt. And I'm like, I get why that's done really well. And then Sinners as well.
Yeah,
from this year,
which we liked, but some people think it's amazing. You know, it was the film of the year, and yeah, good for it for doing so well. But again, it's like in 5 years' time, I wonder if that will hold up in there.
In the full decade
in
review.
The full decade.
Will it be there? Yeah.
Will you be there? Let's see in 5 years' time.
Episode 400.
I think also, whilst we're done with that list, just commenting on our own personal top 3. So there's the first one I want to mention that wasn't in this list, but actually got to, I think, number 21 in my top 3 would be All of Us Strangers, which did really, really well. That is a really interesting film that I keep thinking about, and I cannot stop thinking about. I think it is so profound. For those who don't know, it's a story about Andrew Scott, plays a lonely single gay man in his 40s who goes back to the town where he grew up and goes to the home where he grew up. And when the door opens, it's his parents as they were when he was younger, on the night before they died, preserved in time, and he gets to speak to them and communicate with them. It is such a strange premise. And I remember Andrew Scott in a Q&A said when they were filming it, they really didn't know if it was going to work, but it just does. And if you've seen that movie and it works for you, it is deeply profound and deeply haunting and so emotional. I saw that at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday at the London Film Festival, and I just think it's so brilliant. And there are elements to it that I think, okay, maybe that's a little flawed, but I think about that film all the time, and I'm really glad it got as many votes as it did.
And those 4 actors are so good. It's
Andrew
just
Scott,
them.
another crying Sad Paul Mescal, Claire Foy and Jamie Bell. It's a great movie, and Andrew Haigh is becoming like one of my favorite directors. I really recommend it. Andrew, no,
Who's there? And then this next one was in both of our lists, and I think it was in the 20s.
It was
in the
one
vote.
so it was number 20.
Number 20. And this is a film that you and I both really championed, but I think when we put some of those opinions out, we don't always get that much love for it. But that's Killers of the Flower Moon from last year.
2023.
2023, 2 years ago. I rewatched this recently, and I wasn't quite sure if I still thought it was incredible. I rewatched it. It's still brilliant. And I think to this day, it is one of the nastiest and just most horrible films I've ever seen. And I don't think it's just because of the premise. It's more that it never sort of reveals itself to you like a monster and like, this is what's happening and why it's so horrible. It's like a horrible, creeping sickness that goes into that film. It's about the true story of the Osage tribe murders and how these people infiltrated this tribe trying to steal their land rights. And I was watching it with my partner, and we paused it halfway through to go have some dinner, and she just said, there's no justice. No. And she's a lawyer. And he was just like, you're right, there isn't. It's a really, truly horrible story.
It's sickening, and like the oil they fight over. It's dark and it's murky. And yes, it's 3.5 hours long, but as a Martin Scorsese movie, within 20 minutes of that film starting, I was like, I don't care how long this film is, because I'm in the presence of one of the great filmmakers of all time, who is telling this story so brilliantly, so grippingly, and I just was in shock the whole time at the violence of it, the nastiness of it. Leo playing this really interesting, easily manipulated, morally compromised figure. One of the best Robert De Niro performances I've
He's still so
ever.
good.
You know, he normally phones it in, and this time he was like, I'm tapping into this upper register. He's so good in it. And I think, we put out a video not only 2 days ago, just talking about it, because we did a Leo special. And some people were like, I don't get it. I don't know what you see in this movie. It was boring. It was slow. They're wrong. Go watch it.
Just set aside 3.5 hours and watch it. It's fine.
It's a delicious, weighty, stewy red wine of a movie.
Yes.
And,
but not too much, because you will fall asleep if you drink too much wine.
Yes.
You need to concentrate.
But I also think that's something I keep thinking about that film over the years. And you and I always talk about it. We go, do you remember that great scene in Killers of the Flower Moon? Great movie.
I think it does deserve the runtime. Like because it's something that I think takes place over so many years or even decades, you sort of almost want the length, I think, to understand the dynamics at play and why it's such a nasty true story. Yeah. It's not a nice film to watch, but I do recommend it for you. I just want to give some honorable mentions to some other great films I thought were brilliant in these last 4 years, but didn't make my list. Anora film was one of my favorites of last year. We got to speak to Sean Baker and Mikey Madison.
Who remembers us.
Barbarian is the film that I think we've recommended the most. And Zach Kroger, I know, just put out Weapons, which was also brilliant. But I think recently someone's like, what's a great film that maybe you'd want to recommend? We were like, Barbarian just came out of nowhere for us and was really scary, really funny. Blackberry is the great... So any Blackberry fans here?
Yeah,
you should all go and see it.
I'd say when people say, what's an underrated movie? I'm like, Blackberry was so much better than it needed to be.
Yeah.
And it's so good, it's so solid. And everyone, I think, when that film finishes goes,
that was great.
Good. Yeah, it was really bloody good.
Look at Glenn Howerton in that film. He's brilliant. So and just quite an important, interesting story about like why Blackberry was so big and why you haven't seen a Blackberry in like 15 years. It's all there and it's brilliant. Anatomy of a Fall is a film I loved. I can't stop thinking about it. I do think I need to rewatch it because I'm really due. But yeah, those are just some nominations.
I want to give a shout out to a film that got a good handful of votes, and that's a film called Palm Springs with Andy Samberg. Yeah, a lot of love for that film. And you know what? I share that love. I watched that. That came out in like COVID time, and it was like on Amazon Prime. And it's a time loop movie about around a wedding in Palm Springs with Andy Samberg and Kristen Milotti. And it's really bloody good and funny and charming and well filmed. And I kind of, because it was in the COVID era, I'd kind of forgotten it and moved past it. And then loads of people voted for it. And I'm like, yeah, that is a great film. So good for it.
And also, doing this poll, it was obviously interesting to see what did get votes, but equally interesting to see what got very few, or if like no votes at all. And the only one I really wanted to comment on, because it only got one vote, and that's Gladiator 2, which we didn't like it. I think about 20 minutes into that film, I was like, oh my God, this fucking sucks. But that, in terms of...
Paul Mescal was not sad enough or didn't cry enough?
Didn't cry enough. He cried a bit in the beginning, but like, it was I needed like a later cry.
Yes.
But I'd say, we get this amazing privilege to go to premieres, press events, like opportunities for interviews, and without a doubt, the most money spent on just press, media, marketing was Gladiator 2. Their budget to sell that movie was insane. We had these drinks overlooking Leicester Square. There was a charcuterie and cheese table so just like luxurious and over the top. I thought it was fake. I was like, oh, this isn't real meat. And then I touch it. I was like, oh no, it's real meat. Like you could eat this meat and this cheese.
James, I think you and I were the only
we were the only people that ate.
Challenge accepted.
It was such like a ridiculous amount of food. I was like, this is easily a grand's worth of charcuterie right here. This is clearly a big movie. But the reason I say that is because no one voted for it, or only one person did. Which I think is quite telling. Like that was probably the biggest film outside of Oppenheimer and Barbie of the last 4 or 5 years in terms of spend. But like it sort of shows that it was a huge flop.
Yeah.
But just interesting there. Yeah.
So that's kind of the highlights from the poll so far. In the coming weeks, James and I are going to return to the full list, and we'll be releasing different bits of episodes, just talking about all the different bits of data that we can crunch, and because it is generally really interesting, and it is a nice way of us reflecting on the past few years. But that has been the kind of the top 10. Thank you for everyone who voted. We really appreciate it. And I think
we're going to go for a break.
We're going to go for a 15-minute interval now. And what's going to happen is the OTG gang are going to collect up your hot takes, your movie hot takes, your controversial opinions. We're going to take those and we're going to read some of those out in the second half, and also play some classic Pulp Kitchen games
with prizes to be won.
Oh, sound good?
And I'd just like to remind people that merch is on sale. It's absolutely beautiful, and I hope you guys go and get yourselves one. We'll see you in about 15 minutes.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Pulp Kitchen. Don't forget, new episodes of this podcast come out every single Wednesday.
Thanks as ever to our producers, Finn and Dave. Thank you.
Bye for now. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. George, you know, Pulp Kitchen 200 is like a few months away. We really should figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah, we're doing best movies of the 2020s.
No, I know, but like we should come up with more, like something fun for the second half when people come back. We should really try and I think we should come up with some ideas and really put our heads together. Do you not think?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, of course you're right. Okay, we can do this. We podcast all the time.
Yeah.
Let's put our heads together.
Let's spend a couple of days just working out some ideas.
Yeah.
Draw it all out.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
I think we'll come up with something great.
Yeah. How's it going? It's been tough. It's been tough.
Look, if I'm honest with you, he's taking this way too seriously.
I'll be honest with you, like I'm not loving George's stuff at the minute. Yeah.
I thought we were having fun. Episode 200, he said, let's have some fun. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's quite painful.
No, he's a great guy. He really, and you know, he works hard. He really works hard. It's just like the ideas. It's not going well. Like right now, he's just sort of, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. It's not looking good. I would say, given the time frame away from Pulp Kitchen 200, we've got a problem. Oh, hey, man. Yeah, good. I'm just recording, like, just some bits to go behind the scenes. All good stuff.
Oh, nice. That's good. Do you want me to say anything?
No, you just, I don't know what, you just keep doing that.
Oh, I was just,
yeah.
I thought
it's looking so good, man.
Oh, right,
yeah.
You gonna include it?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay. Sick, man. Yeah.
But, if he thinks he can push me around, no. I am Pulp Kitchen.
George, you all right?
You know what? Let's just do do hot takes and games.
Hot takes and games.
Yes. Let's do that instead.
Yeah.
Just a regular day in the office, that was. Yes.
Lovely.
A little behind the scenes. So we're back. You've given your hot takes. Thank you very much. We have them
all
here.
here.
We're going to sift through, and we're going to give them a bloody good read.
Should we start?
I hope everyone knows what a hot take is, right? It's a controversial opinion.
Okay. This one is from Yanis.
Friend of the show.
Yanis, anyone? Oh, yeah, there you are. Hello. Yanis says, Amelia Perez wasn't that bad. Right. First of all, did anyone see Amelia Perez here?
Yeah, sadly.
It to this day is like the most confused I've been for any nomination for Best Picture. It wasn't just like the worst of the bunch for me. It was the worst film I saw that year. I'm so sorry, Anis.
Yeah.
It truly was baffling and bad.
Before I get on to my thoughts, I'll just say we have some friends from Netflix here tonight. So I want to say Amelia Perez was a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
really kind of blew me away.
And the opportunity to see it and access to any
Amelia
Netflix
Perez
stuff
too. Oh, that's it. Make
it's
it
just
happen.
a privilege. But
no,
while
it
we're
was
here.
a strange thing where like it came out and I didn't think I saw it at the cinema. And it kind of
You
got
saw it really
no
early.
buzz, yeah, and then it kind of went away. And I said to you like 2 months later, I was like, do you remember that film Amelia Perez? And then everyone was like, the movie Amelia Perez, the best film out right now. No, thank you.
Does anyone really like Amelia Perez apart from Yanis?
It got one vote. I think
One
it got
vote, yeah.
Which was probably Yanis.
One vote, yeah. Did you vote for it? Did you vote for it?
Oh,
okay.
So we have two Amelia Perez fans. No, not for us.
Thank you anyway for
Thank
your vote.
Okay, this next one is from Esme, who says, Superman 2025 was so shit. Why on earth did anyone like it? I felt so gaslit. Join the club, okay? This is the smallest hill that we'll probably die on, but like this year it's the most, I think, out of step with our listeners. We've had so much love for Superman, but genuinely, guys, I'm sorry. I saw it. I wanted to like it. I thought it was garbage.
Yeah, the one that just came out this year, the James Gunn one, I don't think I was just like warmed up enough for what he was trying to do. I don't think it's a bad movie. It was the first time I think I'd gone to like a mainstream comic book, big film, and I was like, oh, like, am I being aged out of this at 31? Is this like no longer for me? And that's never really been true for all the others. I was like, no, like some of them are good, some of them are bad, but I still feel like there's so much to enjoy from when the superhero films are great. That's the first time I was like, eesh. I don't like the way this looks. I don't like the CG monsters running around smashing into buildings. I don't like that Lois Lane is just like driving a spaceship after someone just said, pull that lever. I was like, this doesn't work for me at all.
I really felt like James Gunn was like, I have 6 ideas for a Superman movie. I'm going to do all of them at the same time, and you'll figure it out.
Yeah, and also like I think because he's talked about he needs to reboot Batman whilst also like the Matt Reeves ones are happening. And I think he's like, every way to do Batman has been done in cinema, but yet he is obliged to remake it. And I think that same burden on him was there when he tried to remake Superman. Like, we'd had the moody Zack Snyder Man of Steel ones and then sort of like the less impressive ones going into Justice League. But I think he really had that in the back of his mind. It was like, I can't just redo cinematic moody Superman. It has to be so different. But like, you know, you get into the Fortress of Solitude and there's the talking robots and there's the dog and I'm just like, whoa, hey, no, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Black Hole holding the puppy and the baby. Like, this all happened in the film, by the way. Yeah. It's in like the first 30 minutes and it just didn't work for me.
Not for me.
Next one. Okay, let's do...
But thank you, Esme, for joining
Yeah,
the
thank
club
you as
on that.
always.
We felt quite alone.
Okay, this one. Hold on. Very crinkled, written with a lot of stress. This one is a friend of the show, Fred.
Fred?
Fred?
It's okay.
If Paul Thomas Anderson had been dropped on his head as a child and fed only his own farts, he would be Quentin Tarantino. I see that's just a ringing endorsement
of
for
PTA
Paul Thomas
Tarantino,
Anderson, and I'm probably a big fan of One Battle After Another. There you go.
I think, I mean, yeah, there's some comparison. What a fantasy to
What
indulge.
language you use, Fred?
I agree with you, Fred, that Paul Thomas Anderson is great.
Yeah.
I disagree with you that I think Tarantino is also good.
Yeah. Was it a knock against Tarantino?
Fed his own farts. Your Honor, those were Fred's words. Okay, this next one is from Jonathan, who says, About Time is an underrated masterpiece and probably the best rom-com of the 21st century. Look, you know what? I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but I do bloody love that film.
I sometimes think with films like About Time, the real test for them is not seeing it in the cinema. It's when you're rewatching it like the second and third time at home. And that's when you realize, you're like, oh, this is like a great classic that if it's on, I'll go, yeah, sure, I'll watch About Time. That's where those films, I think, really thrive. I don't think anybody saw Love Actually in cinemas the first time was like, I love this film so much. I think it was like Christmas is down the line. You properly fell in love with it, and I think About Time is kind of like that.
I really liked time travel movie anyway, so I was always sucked into About Time and I enjoyed it. But I do kind of like, I'd never expected Richard Curtis to like land the plane, to use that term, like at the end and give a good emotional point and actually hit a good bullseye with it. I can't remember, the ending of like Four Weddings and a Funeral, written by Richard Curtis, not directed by, but still, like, Is It Raining I Hadn't Noticed is like a really naff line. But the ending of About Time actually hits. It actually works.
And no one's ever explained time travel better than Bill Nye, who's like, you just go into a cupboard and do it. Like, you need no effort for it, but it really works. It's like, you just go and do it.
Yeah.
And it works. It's great.
And also, like...
Details.
I do also remember it ends with basically being like Donald Gleason buying a sandwich in Pret, being like, live every day.
Yeah.
Like it's important while you buy your crayfish avocado
I don't go
sandwich.
back in time now, so I've got a sandwich.
But we're all traveling through time. I do like that. Thank you, Jonathan, for that take.
This next one. Well, Mark, you've got one that you crossed out, and then but you did also put "also true" with an arrow next to it. But your take is De Niro and Hoffman in Meet the Fockers is the best on-screen duo ever. Yes, above Heat.
You know what?
I'm gonna go with it.
I grew up, when I was a kid, I don't remember watching Meet the Parents, but I remember seeing Meet the Fockers a good many times.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why, because the electricity between them is great, plus Barbra Streisand's in it.
Oh, they're brilliant. I watched Parents and Fockers at Christmas, and they were hilarious. It's a lot of toilet humor, but I was in for it. It totally worked. And I see what you mean. They were wonderfully comedically contrasted in that film. Like, you get the De Niro to play the serious guy. Hoffman's like the loosey-goosey, low shirt, very tanned. I think Streisand and Dustin Hoffman in that movie are like my goals for how I want to live like my retired married life.
There's another Fokker movie coming back,
There
obviously,
is, yeah.
but with Ariana Grande in it. But I hope they bring back Hoffman.
I should hope so.
Streisand.
Yeah.
Come on board.
Were they in Little Fockers?
I didn't
Has
see
anyone
that
seen
one.
Little Fockers?
Has anyone
Are they
seen
in
Little Fockers?
I can't remember. I have seen it. I just don't remember if they're in it. But yeah, never mind.
This one is from Rachel, who says, as a horror fan, I think the Scream films need more appreciation.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think everyone agrees that Scream 1 is great.
Yeah.
And is a classic. But like, even cut forward to the newer ones, I had a really great time at the cinema with Scream 6. It's silly, it's ridiculous, and like, that's the whole point. They're meant to be funny.
Yeah.
And then when it needs to be, like in the first one, delivers one of the best movie openings of all time.
Yeah, that's what we said. It's one of the great horror opening sequences. The house with a million windows all the way around, the sinister voice. What's your favorite scary movie? It's just great. It totally works. I love that it's also like teenagers running amok. It's great.
I think Wes Craven, but we did this in a pub quiz, by the way. The original title for Scream was Scary Movie, and the whole point was it's like this satire that's going to play on it. And Wes Craven is so playful and inventive. He'd already done it with Nightmare on Elm Street, but like, yeah, Wes Craven is a titan of horror, and you see the work he does in Scream. It's brilliant. They're good movies.
I'm trying to figure. I've seen 1, 2, 3, and then
4 and 5.
one modern one, but I can't remember which one it is.
There's more coming of those films.
Okay. Josh D says, Keanu Reeves is one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, it seems, but one of the worst actors. Ooh, we disagreeing.
Well, define performance. Because
define acting.
Inside the actor studio here. No.
What is acting?
Look, do I want to see him... Look, we've seen him do Shakespeare because he was in Kenneth Branagh's Much Ado About Nothing movie, playing Denzel Washington's brother. Okay, and he's pretty hammy in that. And but when he's doing the physical John Wick Neo stuff, he's pretty good. And
he does everything he needs to do.
And in The Matrix, I do believe in him.
Yeah. He's brilliant in The Matrix. Neo is a character who doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And Keanu Reeves, maybe not being the brightest person in the world, is also like, whoa, you mean I know Kung Fu? And it works. It's like the perfect role for him. And I will say the worst Keanu Reeves performance, and I think this is the worst acting performance of all time. Has anyone seen Bram Stoker's Dracula? That is the worst. I love Keanu. I'm not trying to throw shade, but while we're talking
Welcome on
about
the show anytime, Keanu.
That is the worst acting performance of all time. Don't watch the film, but just go and YouTube it, and you'll be like, oh my God, they released this and didn't recast it and like let this happen. It's truly, truly terrible. Yeah. But you know what? Keanu Reeves is doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, like he's getting his. He's like a Nicolas Cage kind of type character. Yeah. It's just like, is it acting? Is it good? As long as he's around.
Keanu Reeves is post Keanu Reeves. He gets to just be like his own brand now. Like
you know what? We should. If regular listeners to the show, obviously he's got a new movie out, Good Fortune, where he's playing a guardian angel. Maybe this dip into sort of comedy drama might suit him.
Comedy drama,
Maybe.
Keanu Reeves. He still looks like John Wick, but with wings. Like, I love, he's like, no, I'll wear the suit.
That haircut just screams contractual obligation in case he gets the phone call for John Wick 5 or whatever.
No, I think Neo does everything he needs to do. It's in the Matrix scene when he's like, when he turns around, faces the agent, and he's like, what's he doing? And Morpheus is like, he is beginning to believe. And then he shakes the dust by like Shazamming himself, you know?
Yeah.
Like, totally works.
So
marks.
a light disagreement there.
That's all the hot takes we have time for.
That's all the time. Yeah, once you have time for.
Thank you
very
so much for them. This now moves on to the game section of the show.
As ever, guys, Pulp Kitchen ends
with a game. Of
Well
course.
done.
Thank you for having me to do that. Okay, we are going to play at first 2 games for you, right? We're going to invite some of you to come up on the stage. So if you do want to play the game, please maybe start making your way to the wings.
Yeah, we need, for the first game, for James's, we need
four.
We need 4 volunteers for James's game, and then we're going to take some more. We understand there's not a middle aisle, but if you'd like to play James's game, which is going to be...
this is Price is Right, Rotten Tomatoes edition. The game is very simple. I have chosen some very specific films, and I'm going to ask 2 people to guess the Rotten Tomatoes score. The person who is closest to the Rotten Tomatoes score will win a prize.
And gets to stay on stage. So, if you win...
Oh, yeah, and if you win, you get to qualify for the final round, which will be a better prize.
So if you were to win James's round, you win yourself a £50 View gift voucher. Thank you, View.
But nobody's going to come off the stage empty-handed because over the time that we do the show, we get to go to lots of fun events, and they're always great, and we get these little gift bags of shit, basically. And we thought, tat is another way to call it. And so we've got all sorts of wonderful things that we really just don't want in our home anymore. But we thought, for the losers of the show, it's absolutely perfect.
So if you happen to lose a round, don't despair, because you can get yourself a Mickey 17 hat.
Wow.
A Simpsons t-shirt. A Fountain of Youth bum bag with...
bum bag with an adventuring torch and a puzzle.
Yes. A commemorative 60th anniversary Sound of Music tote bag with pin and biscuits. Plus, lots of Tony Chocolonely.
The Together hoodie.
The Together movie, the horror movie Together.
It's a 2-hooded hoodie. So maybe with your partner, you can both wear the hoodie.
An Evergreen Terrace Simpsons diorama.
Like I said, it's just a bunch of shit we really don't want in our flats anymore. But even the losers will win.
And it could be yours.
And if you win, you stay on stage for the final round, which is a better prize we'll reveal later. So, I can't see you guys. Do we have anyone who wants to come up and play the game? Yes, please come up. Yes, please come up.
Your hand, sir.
Yes.
And you, sir.
Okay, great. Welcome onto the stage.
Hey, round of applause for the volunteers. Okay, thank you. Hello, sir. What's your name? Cat. Make your way through, Cat. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Hello, sir. What's your name? Rocco. How you doing?
Nice to meet you, James.
Hello, how are you? What's your name?
Yeah, history.
Nash? Naz. Hello, Naz. Welcome everyone to the stage.
Hey.
Okay, can I take my first 2 over here if
so
you would like to come and play? Right. Oh, I'd love a coin, actually. Do you have a coin? Ooh. Anyone got a coin they can throw at me? No? Oh, here's a coin. There he is.
Chosen one.
Okay, so would you like heads or tails to choose if you go first? Tails, you okay? Are you okay? Are you playing? Are you okay with heads? Come close to me. All right. It's heads. Okay, so you were going to go first. You were going to tell everyone what you think this film's Rotten Tomatoes score is, okay? And then afterwards, you get to choose your score. You can go higher or lower, or you can go one above. And the winner will win a prize. I'm just going to double check 100% what the exact Rotten Tomatoes score is.
Stand by.
Okay. I am very tall, yes. All right, come here. Okay. I never know what to say to that. I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Okay, the film is Man of Steel. Don't say yet. Don't say yet. From 2013. Is it a film that's sort of George, Man of Steel? How would you think people like Man of Steel? Do you think it's a well-loved film? Do you think it's a bit mixed?
I think people are like,
yeah, it's good. We think it's good. Yeah. But some people think it's bad. But what do you think everyone thinks? This is it'll be the audience score. Okay, would you like to reveal what you think Man of Steel is on Rotten Tomatoes?
64.
64, ooh. Oh, it goes to 54. 54, okay, right. Now, he's gone with 54. What are you going to go with?
I'm going to steal his first answer of 64.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm just because I have the memory of a goldfish, I just want to check this again. Okay. So you've gone 54. You've gone 64. The answer is 57. You have won. Give a round of applause. He's won the first round. Congratulations. Please take a gift card prize. And Rocco, even though you have lost, please come and collect a tat of your choice. What rubbish would you like?
Did I hear Sound of Music?
Yes. Sound of Music pin. Hey!
Oh, there you go.
Lovely. And George, some chocolate for them both.
Oh, the chocolate. So, would you like some chocolate? Would you like plain, or would you like
Can you
milk
please
caramel?
stay on stage? You please
Milk
stay on
caramel?
stage.
There you go, please.
Round of applause for Rocco, everyone. Well done for
Yes, sir.
playing.
You'd like just to wait here?
Okay, we've got the next two. Again, just going to double check. Okay, the next film. Oh, I need to do my coin again. Oh, I stole your £2. There it is. I'm going to give this back to you. Okay, I'll go heads or tails. It's heads. So you'll go first. I'm going to check it again. Why can't I remember what it was? Okay, are you ready? The film that you have to guess is Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2, one of the highest grossing films of the year it came out. Inside Out 2, how are we feeling? Don't say yet. Yeah? Okay, good. That's a look of someone who really knows. Not panicked at all. Okay, I'm going to ask you for an answer, please. I have to push you.
76.
76. Okay. Oh, interesting crowd reaction there. Right, he's gone with the 76. What would you like to go with?
88.
88. I can reveal, and I won't check again. I'd be really worried if I had to check again. The answer, Inside Out 2, has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 91. You have won the round. Right, no worries for losing. Please choose yourself some tat.
So, what tat would you like?
Go on, what's he going for? Double hoodie.
The double-headed
great.
together hoodie.
Put it on.
There you
Put
go.
it on. Put it. And some chocolate, George. Give them
And some
chocolate.
chocolate.
Always give them
Take some chocolate. There you go,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. You're qualified for the final. Can I just get you to stand
Okay.
over there?
Now
You guys just wait over there for me. You're going to be involved in the final round.
But before we get to that, we've got another game to play, which I'm going to need 4 more volunteers. So hands up. Those 2 hands went up straight away. There. You, sir. And any more?
Over here,
One
over
there, sir.
here.
Yes, sir. There.
Yes, come on, come on, come on.
Okay. For a round of applause for the volunteers. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, you've already
came to
won
the right
tat.
place.
What's your name?
Katie.
Katie, welcome everyone, Katie.
Hey.
Maddie.
Okay.
Maddie, welcome Maddie. Do you want to come over to this side to make it even? What was your name?
Ryan.
Ryan,
guys.
hello.
Okay,
Round of
come
applause
on
for everyone for playing the game.
You two, go, don't be shy, don't be shy. Come in.
Come in.
Please, please. Okay, we're going to be playing a game called Common Denominator. It's what game we play on the show. I'm going to name a few films, and they're all, what they have in common is an actor. And you've got to tell me who the actor is. The first person to shout out the right answer wins. Again, we're going to start with a pair, so if you two would like to come in, you'd like to join me? Okay, I'm going to start reading out a list of films. As soon as you think you know who the right actor is, shout it out, and the first person to get it wins. Okay, I'll be ready. We okay for
No,
the
and
rules?
nobody shout out from the crowd, please. Thank you.
Okay. Avengers Endgame. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Kong Skull Island. Room. And that's all the hints I'm going to give you.
What were those again, George? Read them
Those
out.
were again Avengers Endgame. No. Kong Skull Island. No. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Kong Skull Island, Avengers Endgame, and Room. How many people are in Room?
Give them another one, George. Give them another one.
Okay, I'm going to move on to another one.
No, give them another film that actor is in.
It's another movie. Crikey, another movie. Did you see the unicorn movie on Netflix that came out that they were in? Okay, we're going to go with a different actor. Moving on. I think this is an easier one. You should get this. Okay. Spider-Man No Way Home. The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. The Imitation Game.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes! Benedict Cumberbatch is the answer. James, get your... I'm so sorry. The answer to the first one, it was Brie Larson. Yes, thank you. Choose some tat, please. Okay, my next contestants, step up. Okay, let's just see. Oh, goodness, I'm going to have a few plan Bs based on that one. Okay. All right, I'll be ready. Ready for the next round? There's the tat table. Okay, please, don't be shy. Okay. Guess the common dominant actor of these movies. The Martian. Doctor Strange. The Life of Chuck. 12 Years a Slave. Yes! You won! Well, congratulations. You win a View gift card, and you win some tat.
Here is your £50 View gift card, and of course some chocolate, and you qualify for the final round.
And some tat, of course, James.
And please, would you like to take some tat? What tat would you like? Simpsons t-shirt. Round of applause for our nominees.
Thank you so much. Can I ask two of you to come to this side of the stage so it's even? You guys can come in, don't be shy. Okay.
Right, now, do we have the categories?
We do. Off stage.
Bear in mind while George goes to get that off stage. Okay, so we'll start with, it'll be one of you versus one of you, so I need two of you to come here. Let's go with you two who are already here. Right, now we have 4 random categories in this Leicester Square Theatre mug that you get to choose that will lead you to a question. And whoever answers that question first wins the grand prize. But George, before we play the game, I'm going to show you what the grand prize is.
First live show.
I want to firstly give a special thank you to Sony for sponsoring this event tonight.
Because if you win this round, you win yourself
a pair of noise-cancelling headphones.
XM5s.
It's like it's a bit much, actually, when you think of it. It's a crazy gift. It's a crazy gift.
It's mental. Okay.
Right, so that's what we're playing for. George, you want to do the honours? Go on.
Yes. So, well, should we flip a coin of who gets to pick out the round?
Yes. Heads or tails?
So many rules.
Tails again.
Tails. Would you like to pick the category, sir? And the category you've gone for is
headphones.
Steven Spielberg is the category.
Steven Spielberg. Do you want me to read the question?
Yes, please.
If Steven Spielberg is the category, let me come in right here. Let's make it really intense.
First one to shout out the right answer wins.
Okay. Steven Spielberg. Okay. First person to shout out. What is Steven Spielberg's highest grossing movie?
Jurassic Park.
That's correct! You were going to say it! You were going to say it! Congratulations! You won yourself a pair of Sony headphones!
However, do not despair. You do not leave the stage empty-handed because we will give you a complimentary Pulp Kitchen 200 merchandise hoodie!
Thank you so much. Well done. I mean, like 2 questions, headphones. That's just, yeah.
Okay,
I mean.
next contestants. Oh, yes, that's right, sir.
Okay,
Hey,
two contestants.
Flip,
yes, come
flip
through.
a coin.
Flip a coin again. Yes, sorry, this is our first time playing these games. Heads or tails? Heads. It's tails, it's tails.
Pick your category. And the category is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Ah, Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, God, this thing is locking. It's disappeared.
Leonardo DiCaprio. How much can I
It's
store
back,
for time?
it's back. Okay. The question is...
First person to shout out the right answer wins.
How many films has Leonardo DiCaprio made with Martin Scorsese?
7. 5. 6.
Yes! Yes, that's correct! Yes, that's good! Well done!
Hard luck, hard luck. Ah, very good.
You won yourself some Sony headphones!
What size are you? We'll get you a medium outside. Hold on to that for now. We can switch outside. Well, look.
And those were the games! Thank you so much, everyone!
Wow. Whew. Well, that actually, there's your iPad.
That was a bit of a
You're
mess.
going to forget your iPad. Yes, that was a bit of a messy bit. Should we sit down again?
Yeah, let's sit down again. That does come to the end of our show.
Blitzed through.
And we'd just like to say once again a massive thank you to everyone who's come out today.
Yeah, it's not lost to James and I, like the madness of this, that like we started doing this like on the edge of COVID in your bedroom with, just like one person listening, and now we're here with actual physical people in the room. It's really scary, but we are so grateful. Every week we're grateful. We kind of pinch ourselves, and whenever that, because of your support, leads to great opportunities and means you get to have people like Matt Smith saying congratulations on 200 episodes is insane. And we're just so grateful and so thankful. And, films and film culture exist because people are engaged and want to watch films and want to talk about films and share their opinions. And that's what you guys do. And it's why you've come here tonight. It's just amazing. Thank you.
I will genuinely say, anytime someone comes to see us live or comes to a quiz or stops us in the street, whether it's at an event or just outside, and they say, oh my God, I listened to your show or I've seen your stuff, it really, really does make our day every single time. And if it happens to me and George isn't there or the other way around, we'll message each other to be like, oh, I got recognized today.
Yeah.
And it was really, really cool. I wish I could say I was cooler than that, but I'm not. It is the coolest thing in the world. So just a massive thank you.
Absolutely. Also, personal thanks to my parents who had the foolishness to let me watch The Shining when I was 10. Really did a number on me. And of course, thank you to my fiancée, Anna, who I don't think without which I would have got to 20 episodes. So thank you so much.
Once again, a huge thank you. I just want to say, thank you so much for coming today and for the first time you gave us a chance and listened. Just thank you so much. There's so much hard work that goes into this. And I know there are some other content creators here, but it is so hard to convince someone to listen to your podcast. And I just want you to know that we don't take it for granted that you give us your ears, you give us your time, or you watch us. We really do promise that it means the world to us, and we will always want to entertain you, to make you laugh, and just share our love of films. We genuinely feel so privileged that this has completely taken over our lives, and we really do mean it. I want to give a thank you to all of my friends who are here today. It really does mean the world to me that you're here. I really do appreciate it, and thank you. A massive thank you to my family. I want to give a huge thank you to my mum, who's let Pulp Kitchen podcast...
yes, Terry!
Who's let Pulp Kitchen podcast operate from her home. Yes, the cliche of recording a podcast in your childhood bedroom is unfortunately true until I move back into my flat. It's just hyper convenient with the Wi-Fi and the garden.
The Pulp Kitchen office manager.
Pulp Kitchen office manager. You could be way more difficult about it, and you've just been incredible. So thank you so much. I'd like to give a thank you to my partner, Talia. You are literally my everything, and you support me through everything that I do, and I genuinely couldn't make this podcast without you. So thank you so much.
Also, I'd like to say thank you to James. 200 episodes.
200
Bloody hell.
episodes.
And we do open that door every day, and we do go,
Here
we go again. But we do it, and here we are for more years.
And I just want to say, I know podcasting seems especially when you watch it, one of the easiest things you can do. And of course, making a podcast is a pleasure, and it's so much fun. But I promise you, and anyone who makes a podcast knows, it's so much more hard work than it looks like. There are all of these little things that go into it that you don't see, like making thumbnails that just don't perform, putting in time codes, tagging things, doing descriptions. These things take hours and hours and hours, and they go late into the night. And if an episode is ever late, we know it's late because we're trying to upload it to 3 different platforms on shitty Wi-Fi at 1 a.m. and I'm I've got to get up early. And it's just, in so many ways, turning up to do each one, it's a marathon. It's not just making one. And at times when, especially this year, if anyone knows, I've had a really difficult year. And there's certainly many times I wake up and I really just don't feel like fucking talking about films. And there are so many more important things in the world. But I just want to give a thank you to George for turning up and making it so easy. We laugh together about films every single day. And at times when I've not been able to pick up the slack and do stuff, George has absolutely gone above and beyond to be there and make it all happen. So I just want to give a massive thank you to all the hard work that he's done.
Thank you, mate.
And thank you all for coming.
We'll leave you with that. We'd love to catch some of you afterwards. We'd like to maybe go to the Imperial around the corner for a drink or something. We'd love to see you. Just thank you in person.
We're going literally to the Imperial if you want to join us for a drink. We want to see as many of you there as possible. Last chance to go and pick up some merch if you'd want it. This is a one-time only limited edition Pulp Kitchen 200, beautiful green. That's all we have to say.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you so much.